Mk1a from Hobby 2000, which I think may be a Tamiya kit, but quite modularly done. So I'm doing it modularly. I've already done the interior. Got a seat to put on that once I got the let's see there, little control column. I've been using the mask. It comes with masks for the wheels and the cockpit and the main lights. So I've got some nice masks results for the tail wheel and the main wheels as well. Very pleased how that came out and how easy it was to put the mask on it. I put the first wing on one side. There we are. Now I'll go closer still, because what you have to do with this, which is a little bit finicky, I wanted to show you before I put the other side of the wing on. You've got to, what I do is I've scored where the holes are to be drilled out, because otherwise, if you put this together, you wouldn't see where the holes to be drilled out, and I don't want to be carving each of the holes individually for the gun ports. I've got the other part of the wing. What I've done is put little pen marks there, so I don't glue too far across. You know, don't put glue, but there's a. So I glue as far as there, around and to there, so you don't have opening. We've got the other wing on now. Fits alright. I'm a bit disappointed really by the holes, because having to make them yourself, you always running the risk of not getting them straight and same size. So, you know, to be blunt, I wish they'd provided them pre-drilled. That would be much better than leaving it up to the model maker to make a muck of things. But it's all on. I'll take the tip off and dry fit things. Done a bit of painting just to check the paint I've got is working still. And I've got the interior of the side. I always do things on one side and then put the other side on afterwards. So we've got, if I bring that up there, you can see we've got the decal on the instrument panel. I got a little yoke there, little joystick with a handle on top. And I've got the seat with the safety belts in tape form, sort of suggested there, and then that'll just plop on the side, and I'll glue one side, and then I won't crush these together, because I don't want to be, there might be a gap if I put them on. I try and put it in here to get that fit. It's gonna be a tight fit anyway, but I don't want to be don't overcompensate for the two sides, you know. I've pre-painted the exhausts, they call them nozzles or what, exhaust pots or whatever, in a sort of rust type effect, metal rust effect colour there. What I've done, I mixed it myself because I didn't know if I'd have a proper rust colour. I find some of the rust colours they have in the model companies looks more of a sort of brick red than rust, and you know. So I've got a bit of red, a bit of brown, dark earth, and some aluminium as well, mixed together in various trial and error amounts. As you can see, I got both wings on now. They're taking the glue off. They'll clean up nicely. I'll probably paint them over again before I put the fuselage on in the middle. I stuck both sides of the fuselage together, and like that. I did notice that these parts by here are supposed to keep that part of each side apart from each other, but they do make it a very tight fit. So I took some of that off, but I'm going to have to try and hold it apart a bit when I put it on the, when I glue it together, otherwise we might get a bit of a problem, because even if you fit it like this, it's quite tight by there. Still got to put the front on, and the front lines up by fitting against here, see. So if that's not the right width, then it's going to be a bit of a step either side. Right, now I've put the fuselage and the main wing together, and I've added one of the elevators. I got a little bit of tape holding the bottom underside on, but it's quite a tight fit. This part by here, I've got this little wedge here which I've made out of a bit of sprue, because what I did, I cut too much off. There's these underneath the tape, there's these little spacers either side there, which don't really show up properly on the instructions, but they were pushing these sides out, so therefore keeping the sides width right for the other part that goes on. I took too much off, so I put this little wedge here to ram it in to push it, so that side goes out a bit more the right place. If that's a sentence, I don't know, but it's near enough. There we are, looks nice hurricane shape now, doesn't it? Both tails on. Painted some of the parts where the wing join was, and I put the front end on, which you can't really see any joins, can you? A little bit of sanding, but not too much, and a little bit of a join, you can see that slightly. More of a panel line now. And on this, there's a slightly raised part there. So when the in this kit, when that part goes on there, you got to remember it's slightly lower than the part behind it. So it'll fit onto the area they got for it, under there, like that. And I've also pre-painted the propeller boss area, because, well, one thing I usually pre-paint these on the sprue and touch them up where the sprue's been removed, and that'll tell me a good reminder of which one to use as well, because they're supposed to use the shorter one on that. But nice. There we are, I've been painting it, and got the exhaust on. I've got the canopy masked up and painted, and got the brown and the green. Got the landing lights installed. Put a bit of tape over them to try and keep them in place, because they're only using Mk1a for those. I've painted the underside as well. That's a bit scruffy because the paint was a bit thick, so I tried to thin it out with a bit of water, but then I made it too thin, and when I was brushing the back of it, it was splattering over the edge, and I had to repaint some of these parts on the trailing edge there. Right, we're getting a bit close to the end now of the build. I put the various radiators and intakes and things on. I don't know if I had the lights on last time, but I got the main lights on. I've painted the covers, well, where there used to be patches over the guns. But while I got in this situation, I got the tail wheel on as well, that's good, isn't it? While I got in this situation, without any legs to be knocked off, I've done a bit of deckling, so that's what we're looking at, with some of the decals on. Just the ones on top, so that I don't have to put them on afterwards. And the trickier areas, so I don't have to reduces the risk of knocking the legs off, doesn't it? So it's the first of it's one from the box cover, and this particular decal was a real nuisance because it came off. and folded over itself. I thought it was on tissue, but it was on my finger, so I had to get it back on. It's pretty tricky, so be careful with this decal if you make this kit. But it's supposed to be handwritten by the crew or the pilot or somebody. Something about the Polish Air Force 126th, and back to front swastika and a drawing of the guy in charge of the Germans at the time. A close up of the tail wheel. Just slots in there. It's not as snug as it should be, but it's okay for a design. I'll paint that over that part on the bottom there. So I've also been trying to put the I've been trying to stick the propellers together, but it's very tricky and it doesn't really go as easy as you want it to. So this one's become a bit floppy and it's come off now. So what I'm going to do is, once I've painted the ends obviously, is put it on first and then use the hole to put it on there afterwards. Hopefully they'll be at the right angle, which is 120 degrees, I think. Yeah, that's a third of 360, isn't it? Also, what I've done is separate the left and right wheel parts so that I don't confuse them when I put them together. So all the parts prepared to build the undercarriage. Right, at this point I'm just putting the fiddly undercarriage on. It's quite fiddly to put on together. These bits by here as well. I don't really know how far down they're going to go until you've got the rest of it on. But I noticed the moulding design doesn't include an important part of the structure of the wheels of a Hurricane, which is this part here, or a lever, or this assembly thing. So it's got some white rod, plastic rod there. I don't know if that's sure. Is that clear? A bit clearer there. How close can I go? Anyway, little plastic rods about 3.5mm I've had to delicately put in there to act as the connector joints, whatever, which were missing in this design. So I put a bit of glue there first and then wiggled it into place to have it perpendicular to the main thing there. So I'll show you that now before I paint it, because otherwise I'd have to wait till tonight to paint it, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to show you this close-up of the mechanism for holding the propeller on. There's a little, that grey circle there, that's a rubber retaining washer which slips on over the main sticking out bit, and I can either leave that on there, because on the inside of the, if you can see that, on the inside of there is a little raised circular part. That's probably what I'll do, because it seems to be designed that way. Things all focused in the background now again. So there we are. I'll put the bit of glue on two sides. Well, I don't know if you like glue. I might just put a bit of white glue. It may be easier to remove if I have to put a new part on it, because it comes with 4 different washers, 4 of the same washers rather. So that gives you option, I suppose, if the other one fails. Anyway, well, I've made it in more ways than one. Got to the end of the build and I've built the thing, so I've made it. Yeah, quite a strange sort of kit really. The propellers, I think, are probably a little bit oversized in width. I'm not sure by the length, but the width definitely, I think, is a bit too wide. Managed to get the lights nicely painted. I like to put a little bit of silver dot behind the back of the light. I've done a bit of weathering. I hope I haven't overdone it too much. Bit of gun smoke there and a bit of smoke from the engine. The decals were tricky. That one was, as I said earlier. A little bit of grey or aluminium for the rail for the canopy to come in and out. and a bit of footwear and some panel wear where I can think of it possibly being, and some leading edge erosion as well, if I after fashion. I probably overdid it a bit on the bottom, but got a bit of dirt effect where the mud's come up. I don't know if that's a proper oil stain place or what, but yeah, a bit more smoke from the dirt from the guns, and got all the decals on that I think I needed. Some of them are a bit silvered, but I'll try a bit of stuff to bend them down a bit. There should be another decal here, but I don't know if I lost it or if it wasn't present. Should be another lift here or trestle here sticker there. Yeah, not my favourite Hurricane kit. There are better on the market from Afix and Armour Hobbies. And the although the masking set was great for the wheels, I don't think it really worked with the canopy, because when I was taking it off I scratched the canopy, but that's probably my fault, not the kit. And as I said earlier, the putting the propellers on individually is a bit needlessly tricky. And as you saw just now, I added some parts for the undercarriage, these little down actuator lever thingies, whatever they're called, strutty suspension bits, things to move as you fold up, you know. But yeah, I got a fully made 303 Squadron Polish Battle of Britain era aircraft. Don't know what that is, that bit of paint or something. I'll get that off. You can always touch things up afterwards. But there we are. Thank you for watching. Hope I didn't go on too much, and I hope you stayed long enough, because a lot of people only watch the first 2 minutes of my videos, so they're either dull or people are impatient. I don't know, probably both. Ta-ra now.